Douglas High School are appreciated. Please remain standing for the playing of our national anthem.
Today from the RP Funding Center, formerly known as the Lakeland Center, the site of the 2018 FHSAA Girls Basketball Finals, also the home of the Lakeland Magic. We welcome you to this Class 8A state semifinal between the Trojans of Tallahassee Lincoln and nationally ranked Winter Haven, the defending state champions. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mike Rideout, along with my broadcast partner, Will White, our analyst at the half, Willie Powers of PK Young High School. Also our camera operators, Brandon Crotchett and Mike Kovac, and our executive producer, Gary Tufford. Well, as we look at the matchup, at least on paper, we're in store for a really good one here in the 8A semifinals. Both these teams have combined for 2 losses, but neither team losing to an FHSAA school this year.
Yeah, when the schedules came out and you looked at the different matchups, this is definitely the first one that stood out to me as the semifinal game to watch. Tallahassee Lincoln, like you said, they're number 4 in the state regardless of class. And you have Winter Haven, who basically lives here every year in the Final Four, number 1 in the state. So this should be a remarkable contest of 2 of the best teams in the state.
Let's give you the starting lineups. First, for the Winter Haven Blue Devils, 30-1 record. Their only defeat this year coming to Montverde Academy in overtime. They're ranked 15th nationally in the Excellent 25 by Max Preps. Johnny Lawson in his 10th year as the head coach. Their starters, number 3, Diamond Battles, a 5'7" senior. She'll run the point. Also in the backcourt, number 12, Amaya Small, a 5'10" senior. Shooting guard, number 15, Zakaya Franklin, a 5'7" junior, one of the top juniors in the country. And in the front court, actually they'll go with a 4-guard lineup. Malia Sullivan, a 5'11" senior, will also play at guard. And number 22 will be their power forward. That is Taya Singleton, a 6'2" junior. Winter Haven with 4 state titles. They're seeking a three-peat. They've won back-to-back state titles. For Lincoln, the Trojans, their first ever state semifinal in girls basketball, 22-1 under Rod Mack in his 4th season. They are ranked 2nd in the Class 8A state rankings, right behind Winter Haven. And this is how they will start out at point guard. Well, they got 2 really good guards, and they have they're both identical twins. Erica Terrell, a 5'5" freshman, wears number 1. Aaron Terrell, a 5'6" freshman, wears number 2. Also in the backcourt, number 20, Ariel Young, a 6'1" senior. And in the front court, number 3, Courtney Mack, a 5'10" senior. And number 5, Sharice Thomas, a 5'8" senior. So we're ready for basketball. 8 minutes up on the board. We'll play 4 8-minute quarters to determine who will play for the Class 8A state championship. The tip is in the air, and it's controlled by the team in dark. That's the Winter Haven Blue Devils. Never could figure that out, why they are Blue Devils, but they wear black.
Intimidation.
Yes. That ball was deflected. It will stay with Winter Haven. Your officials hail from Broward. Lee Lazarson is the referee. Jared White and Joe Dinda are your umpires. So just underway from Lakeland, Florida.
The only people on the court that might have more experience in Winter Haven here is the Terrell sisters, both of which were here with FAMU the last several years as middle schoolers.
FAMU did get here, but they were unable to repeat coming into the week. Of the 9 state champions, 6 were back, and this is one of them playing here today. Winter Haven, they get the steal. The layup won't go down, and that goes off the Blue Devils out of bounds to Lincoln. But of the 9 defending state champions, again, 6 are back. Winter Haven in 8A, Fort Myers in 7A, which won earlier today, so they will play for another state title. Miami Country Day, which just won their 5th straight state title. They won the 4A state title. Tallahassee FAMU did not repeat in 3A. Grandview Prep did not repeat in 2A. And then Wildwood did repeat in Class 1A. They won their 2nd straight state title. So just a handful of teams, which I kind of like. We got a lot of new champions. In fact, first-time champions this year.
Yeah, it's good to see some different teams coming here and having a chance to stand out. You have some of the perennial regulars here, but it has been kind of a mix this year.
All right, so the Trojans with their first offensive set. Long step there as Young misses the shot, and Winter Haven comes away with it. Quick pass into the front court, ahead to Franklin. Franklin's shot goes in. She's the 14th ranked junior in the country, and Zakaya Franklin gives Winter Haven an early 2-0 lead, and already a timeout call by Lincoln. They want to make sure this thing doesn't get away from them in a hurry.
Yeah, I actually like early timeouts sometimes. Even though it's just 2-0, you can clearly see that they could get the ball across half court the first couple of times. And quick scoop and score there by Winter Haven. So use your timeouts. Can't take them with you. If you can get something fixed right now and it helps you for the rest of the quarter, it's definitely worth it.
As far as the players to watch today for Winter Haven, Franklin averages 14.5 points, also 5.9 boards. Diamond Battles averages 12.3 points. Those are the only 2 players that average in double figures. Battles also can crash the glass. She averages 8.4 points, and how about 8.3 assists per game. So she fills up the stat sheet every night.
Definitely trying to keep her teammates involved and getting them ready to go. You see here, Lincoln's really having trouble with Winter Haven's press. 3 or 4 of the first several possessions, they haven't even been able to get across half court. In fact, I think they only got it across half court one time so far.
Meanwhile, the identical twins, the Terrell sisters, nice baseline drive there by Small. 5'10" senior lays it in, and it's 4-0 Winter Haven. A steal and another layup, this one by Franklin. Franklin with 4 of their 6 points. You're right, this pressure causing all kinds of problems.
Yeah, they're not really looking, seems like there's too much strategy right now. They get into the Terrell sisters, and they're just getting stuck, and everybody's kind of standing. No one's really flashing back to the ball too much or trying to get it to the middle or clearing out because they're in a man press, so just get it in and clear out.
Erica Terrell averages 12 points a game. That shot wouldn't go down. Missed by Young. Outlet ahead. Here come the Blue Devils again. And a good defensive play as Erica Terrell got back to block the shot.
And got back in court to maintain possession of the ball, but Winter Haven got it back.
I get the sense, just with the eye test, Will, it looks like they're going to have, they meaning Lincoln, are going to have trouble inside today.
Yeah, inside and with that press. And part of it is, we've talked about this in the other games, is the beginning of the game and the end of the game, people seem to be more pressured and nervous because they're here in the Final Four, and then hopefully they can kind of settle down a little bit. But right now, it's just Winter Haven just laying the hammer so far.
Diamond Battles in the scorebook with her first 2 of the game. Great defensive move there, or offensive move after the defensive play. Speaking of the Terrells, again, Erica averages 12. Aaron averages 29.5 a game.
That's hard. People don't understand how hard that is to do every night. You have one game where you have 20 and your average goes down.
Diamond Battles picks up the loose ball and lays it in. Another turnover for Lincoln, which has yet to score, and it's a 10-0 run to start the game for the nationally ranked Winter Haven Blue Devils.
Yeah, you can just see it, that athleticism and that pressure, and maybe Lincoln's inexperience being here. Everybody's on the Lincoln just a little flat. No one's really kind of stepping up, and so another good timeout. Again, you just can't lose the game here at the very beginning. So another timeout here. Try to settle them down, get into some sort of consistent offense, getting the ball in and attacking.
Winter Haven won the title in 2016, which at the time was their 3rd state title, but the first for Johnny Lawson as a head coach. He also won titles in 2005 and 2007 as an assistant, but guess what? He came back the next year. Winter Haven able to beat South Broward in the 8A championship game, 72-65. So back-to-back state titles, now 4 titles for this Winter Haven program. And as I mentioned, nationally ranked, 30-1 on the year. The only loss in overtime to Montverde Academy, a non-FHSAA school.
It's a rough day for me. This is the day where all the people that beat me here are playing. So Winter Haven, Nova, and Dillard. So having negative flashbacks.
Let's take a look at how both these teams got here. We'll start first with Winter Haven. They open up with a 67-16 win against Wharton in the regional quarterfinals, followed by a close one, 62-56 win at home against Tampa Plant.
Plant's the team to beat in that region. I think coming forward, I think they can definitely contend with Winter Haven moving forward because they are extraordinarily young. And they gave them, like you said, was it a 6-point game?
Yeah, 62-56. It's a big basket. They're going to count that one in a foul. 3-point play opportunity coming up for Zakiya Franklin. She already has 6 in the quarter. But another close game for Winter Haven against Melbourne, 56-51 in the region final, but they did get through.
Actually, was thinking that coming here, looking at those different scores, that would even make them a little bit, peaking a little bit more, because sometimes, you have the easy run, and you're just kind of walking through people. They had to play to get here, even though they're obviously extraordinarily talented.
Boy, Winter Haven really crashing the
Relentless.
boards. Yes,
Relentless.
they are. That's a good word, relentless. Small lays it in. She gets fouled. She'll go to the line for a 3-point play. So Thomas and Jackson have each picked up a foul for Lincoln. And the free throw, no good. It's not the only thing they haven't done right. They have gone 0 for 2 from the line. What do we got here? Away from the basketball, a foul called.
And that's one where you're like, well, let that one go. We actually had a transition, getting it across half court for a second. But so nothing really going right for Lincoln so far.
Foul called on Malia Sullivan. That's her first. Second team foul, or first team foul rather, on Winter Haven. Full court press again by Winter Haven. That's the other thing too. They had a break going the other way, and then you have to throw it at the other baseline.
Exactly.
And
when
come full court again.
Allowed Winter Haven to set up their press, and so again, Lincoln's going to have trouble when you have Aaron Terrell having 29 points a game average. Basically, I don't think she has a shot attempt yet.
For Tallahassee Lincoln?
Yes, number 5. So it's going to be hard to win if your best player can't even get a shot off.
Yeah, they've got to get her involved. That basket good by Singleton, her first bucket of the game. Lincoln opened up the postseason with a 92-21 win against Tate, followed by a 60-53 win against Niceville. We'll wait for this play to develop. That shot blocked. Jackson got it back. Jackson gets bumped. That's got to be a foul, and they do blow a whistle. That foul was called on Small, her first. And then Lincoln defeated Bartram Trail of St. Johns County 64-58 in the region final to advance to today.
Yes, that was a competitive game as well. The higher classes, sometimes you see a little bit more competition going into the regionals. The bigger the school, the more kids you have to choose from, and you kind of tend to see that a little bit more often than the lower classes.
Another turnover. After a miss, offensive rebound, but Singleton had her shot blocked.
Good no call right there. I like that the defender stayed up vertical really well, got on top of the ball, and letting them play a little bit here.
Matchup of number 1 versus number 2, according to Max Preps. Inside to Singleton. Singleton gets called for traveling. Well, this Lincoln basketball team has won 4 straight district titles. They were undefeated in district play during that time. As I noted, their first ever trip to the state semifinals. Their boys basketball team has been here. In fact, the Lincoln boys are playing tonight in the region final. A little up and under move there by Erica Terrell. She missed the shot, but she got fouled, and Erica will shoot 2 shots. Foul called on Taya Singleton, her first, third team foul against Winter Haven. Erica Terrell, a 70% free throw shooter. There are four girls for Fort Myers that shoot 80% or better from the foul line.
That is, in fact, a friend of mine texted me that, and maybe you said that. I think maybe he was listening in that game, and that's kind of the lost art of high school girls basketball. It used to be pretty consistent high free throw percentage, but it's dropped a lot recently. I don't know why, but that makes a big difference.
Ball is thrown away, so Lincoln will get it back. They're down 12 with 3:34 to play in the first quarter. Really, before you could blink, it was a double-digit lead for Winter Haven. Coach, what do you do to get back in? I guess you just got to take it possession by possession. There's still a lot of basketball to be played.
Yeah, one at a time. The biggest thing right here is, I think, get the ball in and clear out, because it's a man press by Winter Haven. Then they're looking to trap in the half court. But kind of attack, get to the free throw line a little bit. They're over-dribbling, so a little bit more passing.
Young threw it right in the
Nice
hands
pass.
of Battles. How about that? Great-looking pass. And Franklin heating it up. 8 points for her in the opening quarter. That's a 14-point advantage for nationally ranked Winter Haven.
You know, give Winter Haven credit for just stifling Lincoln, what they're trying to do, but Lincoln's just not getting set in anything.
Good look down the floor. Layup good by Malia Sullivan. That's her first two. So all five starters have scored for Winter Haven in a 20-point first quarter, and we still have just under 3 minutes to play. Erin Terrell got it. That's her first points of the game. She averages just under 29. She's got great ball skills. She can create her own shot, and also, like her twin sister, plays suffocating defense. Layup attempt, no good. And a fight for the loose ball. It will go out of bounds. It will remain with Winter Haven.
Yeah, Lincoln's got to get back on defense. They got to either have a consistent safety or two, because Winter Haven's just leaking out and getting runouts just about every time. Good hustle by everybody right there.
.219 and counting here in the opening quarter. That's a 2 if it goes. And the rebound to Deja Jackson. She's been a spark plug off the bench for this team.
And like you said, one of the things that they can do, which is you can help your offense with your defense, meaning they got to stop Winter Haven down on the other end, because Winter Haven's best thing they have going for them is their press. Well, you can't set up a press if you're missing shots. So really lock down on defense, get a couple stops.
Loose ball picked up by Erica Terrell. Outlet down the floor to her sister, but Aaron's shot blocked out of bounds. Good defensive play there by Diamond Battles.
That's great next level defense right there, because you can tell Terrell was trying to draw out the foul using her left shoulder, and Battles was able to maintain her body in the air and not push and kind of be able to deflect the ball up top. So that was a really strong defensive play.
Inside, no basket. Had it gone, Young call for traveling. 20-6, a 14-point lead for Winter Haven. They get it back with 1:39 to play. Full court press now by Lincoln, but Winter Haven easily breaks the press. And a foul called on the jump shot by Battles.
Well, it's a rule, you never foul a jump shooter. Basically what that means is, they're going to be elevating anyway, so it's going to be really hard to get up and get on top of it to where you could block that anyway. So all you can really have to do is just contest it, get a hand in the area to kind of get their vision a little obstructed, and then you just have to live with the consequences. But you can't try to block a jump shooter shot. It's just too hard to get on top of the ball to block it.
How about Diamond Battle? She rolls up the sleeves. She rolls up the shorts.
Everybody's got their little quirks.
But she misses both free throws, and an opportunity for Lincoln to cut into this down 14.
See if they can try to get it around 10 points. That would be kind of my number one goal as a coach. If you can get it down around 10, and then you can basically start saying there, hey, look, they played a tremendous quarter. We played terrible. We're down 10. We got a lot of time left. We're still in this.
That's going to be a blocking foul. I think you go to the second quarter down 10 clearly getting outplayed in this first quarter, it's still got to be a win.
Absolutely, because then that's what you sell there in that timeout, which is the truth, is we couldn't have played any worse. They couldn't have played any better, and it's still a ball game. So it's not like what you did affected. We didn't score the second quarter in one of our regional games, but we were down 8 at halftime. So it's like, okay, well, we haven't played real well, but luckily we haven't played so bad we've cost ourselves a chance to stay in this. So, hit this next free throw here, get a stop and a score, and, it's still a game.
Second free throw. Good by Richards. Jenny Richards, 5'7" senior, with her first 2 points of the game. She's been an offensive spark off the bench for this team. She's been playing her best basketball during this playoff run, too. So under a minute to play in the opening quarter. Loose ball. We may have a jump ball. We do. And it will go back to Lincoln with 51.9 seconds to play in the quarter.
You're seeing Lincoln really starting to kind of get their feet behind themselves a little bit, starting to realize, hey, we don't have to make it this hard and just kind of play their game. And they're getting some defensive stops, which is allowing Winter Haven not to have as many press situations.
Winter Haven has taken 12 more shots here in the opening quarter. How about a 16-2 advantage in the paint?
Yeah, they just got so many run-out layups that's
14 points off of turnovers.
That'll lose you a lot of games.
Aaron Terrell. Now back up top to Erica Terrell. Tough shot. Richards kind of muscled her way in, not able to knock it down. And a reach-in foul called. I think this will be on Erica Terrell. It will. That's her second.
Yeah, they can't afford her or her sister to get in trouble.
Winter Haven up 12. They've been led here in the opening quarter by Sakaya Franklin, as I noted, ranked 14th nationally amongst juniors. I was kind of hoping we would get to see some different unis. Johnny Lawson designed their new red, white, and blue star-sprinkled uniforms. It resembles the 2003 NBA All-Star Game uniforms worn by Michael Jordan and Tracy McGrady.
Oh, we got to break those out. Maybe if they play tomorrow.
Stolen away by Terrell. Aaron won't get a shot off. That's the end of the first quarter. It was all Winter Haven in the opening quarter. 20 first quarter points for the two-time defending state champions. At the end of one, it's Winter Haven 20, Lincoln 8 here in the Class 8A in the Class 8A state semifinals on the NFHS network.
This event is brought to you by Olive Garden. Olive Garden is proud to be the official dining room of high school sports. With menu choices to please the entire family, as well as to-go and catering options, it's the perfect restaurant for your post-game dining. To find your nearest location or to order your meal online, visit olivegarden.com. Olive Garden delivers the final moments. Bring home Italian favorites and they'll cheer for you on game day. Olive Garden is the official dining room of high school sports, and with the new catering delivery service, you never have to miss a moment.
Mike Rideout along with Will White back here at the RP Funding Center. After one quarter of play, it's Winter Haven 20, Lincoln 8. Lincoln did not shoot the ball well. 2 of 10, 20% in the opening quarter. Winter Haven 10 of 21. A lot of those came on layups, though. 47.6%. And as you mentioned, it looked like Lincoln started getting their legs late in that first quarter.
Yeah, so they were able to just kind of withstand that. They played most of the second half of that first quarter pretty even with Winter Haven, so started to get back on defense a little bit more, played some half-court defense. Again, the biggest key is not allowing Winter Haven to get into their press, and you do that with your defense, getting a stop, giving them one shot, getting a rebound, and then being able to push the ball. Because Winter Haven has a clear advantage when they have any time they can set up their defense.
Loose ball on the floor. And it's going to be Lincoln to come away with it. They're going to call over and back.
Yeah, that she had, because in order for her to throw it back to her teammate, she had to have had possession in the front court, so that was the right call. Where she kind of messed up in general was when she dove for the ball to touch it, it was going to be over and back on Winter Haven.
But if you tap it.
But she touched it. Yeah, if you tap it.
It's okay.
It should have been, yes. because that's not considered possession.
Off the glass, good. 2 more for Malia Sullivan. Terrell misses the shot, loose ball. Diving to the floor is Young. They keep it now to Terrell. And then Winter Haven able to get the rebound. Sullivan. That's a 3 if it goes. Missed badly, followed up and in, and a foul. Weak side rebound by Amaya Small. She's got 6 and a chance at a 3-point play.
Yeah, everything going right for Winter Haven right there. Even a brick 3-pointer, but then now they get an and-1 opportunity. Because, again, crashing the ball, the board, like we were saying, just how relentless they are.
And the free throw comes up short. Almost a turnover. In fact, it is a turnover, and another foul on Lincoln. Once again, that will put Small back at the line, this time to shoot 2. Amaya Small averages 5.9 a game. She's a 46% free throw shooter, so she's already over her average with 6 points. First free throw is good. In the first quarter, Winter Haven out-rebounded Lincoln 16-6, and Lincoln had 10 turnovers, although Winter Haven had 9, so they're pretty even.
That's the part I just noticed, that it was 10-9 turnovers, so that kind of balanced out, but those rebounding totals allowed Winter Haven to get 11 more shot attempts, so that and many of them right around the basket, so that's the biggest difference in the game right now.
Stolen away by Small. Small misses the layup. And we're going to have another foul on Lincoln as Franklin got in there and crashed the boards.
Yeah, frustration showing right there with Jackson kind of slamming the ball towards the official. Not disrespectfully, but you just, wearing that emotion on their sleeve. Understand they're just, when you only have 1 loss and you're 22-1 on the year, you're not used to this. You're not used to being on this side of things.
Franklin now has 9 points. She averages 14.5. Second free throw puts her in double figures. 27-8. It's all Winter Haven in this first half. What they've got to be careful of is, this thing getting away in the second quarter and then having a running clock in the third quarter. If you can find a way to at least close the gap here in the first half, you can at least keep yourself in position. As Terrell got knocked down, Erica will go to the line and shoot 2, where she's 2 for 2 today.
And that's it, just chipping away, keeping it a game, because like you said, it's 19 points already. That's the last thing you want to do is get here and kind of have that kind of showing. And, sometimes you just don't know, like, the regions of the state, how strong the basketball is, and it's just different at different times. And I just don't think Lincoln's probably ran up. No one has, because of course, Winter Haven's #1 in the state, but maybe ran up against a team quite like Winter Haven this year, and that's starting to show.
Second free throw is good. Erica hits 1 of 2. 27-9. 6:12 to play, first half. Coming up next will be the second 8A state semifinal. Tampa Bay Tech and Nova. Going to have a jump ball.
Yeah, Tampa Bay Tech had a big upset over Gulf Coast in the regional final, who was here last year. Yasmin Chang, one of the best seniors in the country.
The floater, good by Erin Terrell. That's her second field goal. She's got 4.
Yeah, when you're vertically challenged, you learn how to get that floater around the basket as best as you can.
And a turnover back to Lincoln.
So just clear out here. They're a man-to-man. So get set up in something here.
They tried to thread the needle. Fortunately, they saved the possession. Shot no good by Jackson. Outlet ahead to Franklin. Franklin makes her way into the paint again. Actually ran into her own man. And 3 seconds is called because Singleton was camped out underneath.
Literally.
Yes.
She was definitely sitting there the whole time. what happened was Franklin lost the ball a little bit, and I think that really made a difference. Franklin or Ware lost the ball.
You know, there's just, while you got the Terrells, and they are really good players for Lincoln, there's just too many good players on the floor for Winter Haven. I mentioned Franklin, ranked 14th in the country as a junior. You also have Singleton, who is the 18th post player in the country. Diamond Battles is top 30 or so in the nation.
Coach Mack over there, a little frustrated because he thought that Winter Haven got away with a couple fouls, and then to call your offensive player down with the hook, especially when you're down 16, you really start to say, look, is nothing going to go our way today?
Battles missed her first 2 free throws in the opening quarter. That gives her 5 for the game. 17-point advantage. She gets 1 of 2. Tapped right into the hands of Battles, but couldn't hit the shot. Terrell. Back out, 3 on the way. No good by Young. And it's almost one and done every time.
It's one and done in Winter Haven. If you look, their players get out to right around half court for that outlet, and they are looking to, most teams will rebound and go to a short corner and then to half court. They get that ball, and they're really looking for that deep outlet, and Lincoln is not doing a good job getting back on defense.
Battles now with 6. 3 ball missed badly. Winter Haven looking to extend a 19-point lead. Boy, it's so quick.
Wow.
And then they've got the length underneath.
To clean up any miss.
Good play defensively. Jackson got her hands on it to pick up the steal. Young into the front court.
I thought she was going to lose that ball about 7 times, and she kept it, though.
Deep 3. Rims out. No good.
Frustration foul there by Young.
Aaron Terrell with a miss. And back to the free throw line for Winter Haven.
80% free throw shooter.
Yeah, she.
Of course,
you jinxed her right there.
Yes, of course.
Franklin with 8. Actually, Franklin with 10. My apologies. 8 in the opening quarter. 3 if it goes. No good by Terrell.
Yeah, she's trying to get her team back into it, and the last couple shots have been good shots. Nice form. You can tell there's a reason why she shoots so well. 74 three-pointers on the year. Just trying to help her team get back into it. Good no call right there. That was all ball.
Good hands by Sharice Thomas to deflect it. Thomas, definition of a blue-collar worker when it comes to basketball, according to her coaches. Ball will remain with Lincoln.
That's so important on every team, kind of defining a role. I always think of Dennis Rodman with the Bulls.
Right.
You had enough scorers, you had your shooters. Well, what's my job? And so you want that person who's going to bring that lunch pail to work every day and going to get you some rebounds, get on the floor, give you that energy. There's only one ball, so, we need people that are going to do other things to really help your team win.
Streaking to the basket. That is Trinity Hardy.
Yeah, Lincoln is just not getting back on defense. But give credit to Winter Haven because their outlets are as deep as any team I've seen in a long time. To be able to take that pass and definitely look ahead.
Well, after a miss, Lincoln with a chance to close the gap a little bit. I mean, you got to at least try to get this thing down to 15 maybe?
Yeah, just something reasonable, or even on a nice little
just something
strong
where
run.
You don't feel defeated going into the locker room.
Exactly. You have to go to the halftime with something positive to talk about.
Because if you get it to 15, you can break it down by quarter.
Yes.
You don't have to try to get 15 back in one quarter.
7 a quarter, 8 a quarter. That's doable. But
yeah.
20 something, 25, 26 and you were all people too, especially these are young people if they get that sense of being defeated and then they just don't want to work as hard, they don't want to get back on defense. And it kind of looks that way. They're just kind of sleepwalking. Sometimes they just kind of, for lack of a better term, got punched in the mouth, just in the sense, like the basketball term. And they just haven't gotten back up from the canvas.
Rochelle Hardy with her first bucket of the game. That'll draw a foul, and that will send Jenny Richards to the line to shoot 2 more.
Now, if I'm Coach Lawson, I want to turn this up and get to 35 points. You want to play as little basketball today in the sense of like playing back-to-back days here as we do in Florida for semifinals and finals. Get the running clock so then the game's over. You have nothing to stress about, you know what I'm saying? And then you can get your bench in to play, rest some of your players, work on different things. So if I'm him, I'm going to preach the opposite. We're not going to settle here on 22 points. Let's get this to 35, and then let's start thinking about the next day.
Richards hits them both, the senior with all 4 points from the foul line. Substitution checking out is Sullivan. Under 2 minutes to play until halftime. It's been all Winter Haven in this first half, and they go back to work inside and get another easy bucket. Franklin again. Franklin now with 12.
And I think, you're going to go to that. Something about ranked 15th in the nation as a junior.
Yeah, and she's had a couple of 30-point games this year. It would be different if she was the only player that you had to account
right.
for, but they've got so many good players,
See,
so
look
many
at that
weapons.
Deep, long outlet.
That's going to send Battles back to the line again.
You almost had to come into this game knowing that about Winter Haven and almost having like a forced safety situation. When that shot goes up, and I've seen many teams do this, you don't worry about offensive rebounds at all. That shot goes up, and you literally sprint the other direction.
Jenny Richards picks up the personal. That's her second.
So those are really only the 2 things that are really special about what's going on right now is Winter Haven's press, Lincoln having trouble with that, and Winter Haven's transition, getting that ball out in front, and Lincoln still just hasn't adjusted to that.
Second free throw, good. Battles will check out. 6 seniors on this Winter Haven team.
Yeah, that region's going to be interesting. I can't remember who played them in the regional final. Close.
Melbourne.
I'm not sure how many seniors they have, but I know, like I said, Plant. A good friend of mine. She might even be watching back home, but they're pretty much they have 2 amazing freshmen on that Plant team, and Honor Culpepper is just a sophomore on that team, and no seniors that play a lot. So Plant, Winter Haven, I do feel like that's going to be a big rivalry moving forward.
All right, stoppage in play, an injured player down for Winter Haven. Folks, I want to remind you that if you would like to purchase a DVD keepsake copy of today's event, click on the blue Get the DVD button directly under your event in the video player, or click on the Buy a DVD button on the top right-hand corner of the NFHS Network website. Today's game is also available for our subscribers, for all subscribers, via our mobile website. Log on to NFHSnetwork.com from your smartphone or tablet and view live games or replays from anywhere. .112 left until halftime. Lincoln trailing by 24.
Oh, yeah.
That's over and back.
Yep. Again, Lincoln's even just having trouble getting the ball in bounds. Nobody's using their body to get open. If you watch Lincoln, the Terrell sisters are all the guards. They're just kind of moving away. They're not moving towards the defense. They're not getting their leg across. They're not pushing off. If I'm going to do something to try to get open. Set a nice screen, kind of let Winter Haven know what's up.
Just under a minute to play here in the first half. Lincoln with only 1 field goal, Will, in the second quarter.
Wow. I'm just thinking of from Bull Durham. They go in baseball. They're like, "What's our record?" It's like 10-30. How did we win 10? So I'm thinking they're like, "How did we even make 1?"
Right.
Because Winter Haven's defense just been that spectacular. We want to talk about their offense. Their offense is completely dictated on their defense. So look at that, they're straight up, even though they didn't do that almost like a quarterback, they get it and they're looking for the runner. They're looking for that deep pass.
Mitchell lost the handles on it. Lincoln comes away with it. Terrell, an air ball. Her sister gets the rebound, though. Here's Erin now. She's only had 4 points in the half. And Winter Haven, with just under 10 seconds to play, looking for 2 more, and they get it inside as Jacob's shot goes in. And that will do it for the first half. A 26-point lead for nationally ranked Winter Haven. Our halftime score, Winter Haven 39, Lincoln 13. Stay tuned. Our analyst, Willie Powers, the head coach of the PK Young Lady Blue Wave, will join me next. We'll take a look at the first half, recap the first half, and more. Our halftime score here in the Class 8A state semifinals. It's Winter Haven 13, Tallahassee Lincoln 13.
This game is brought to you by Under Armour, maker of the world's best apparel, footwear, and accessories. Check out the full line of performance gear now at UA.com. Under Armour, I will.
You know, the Greek philosopher Aristotle said, you are what you repeatedly do. But in our book, we say you are what you repeatedly do when things get hard. When you look at the naysayers and the haters, and there's a million of them, but you take it upon yourself to erase all doubt. Get that doubt out of here. So my apologies to Aristotle, but excellence doesn't become a habit by running the same path over and over. The excellent ones just step up to the line and ask, what's the record? Under Armour, get your feet straight.
Welcome back to the RP Funding Center. Again, our halftime score, Winter Haven 39, Lincoln 13 here in the 8A state semifinals. I'm Mike Rideout, joined by our analyst, the head coach of the PK Young girls basketball team, which played the 4A state semifinals this week, Willie Powers. Coach, all Winter Haven in that first half. They just have so many weapons.
Yeah, they play hard. They play as a team. They're long. They're athletic. They're in great shape, and they defend. They take pride in playing defense, and that you don't see that much now in basketball. Everybody want to score points, but what they've done defensively is really taken Lincoln out of their game. They're speeding them up. Probably have about 18 to 19 turnovers right now at halftime because they're speeding them up and they're getting them out of their comfort zone.
It's like pick your poison with this team. Zakiah Franklin, one of the top juniors in the country, leading the way unofficially with 12 at the break. What do you do? Is there any way Lincoln can get back in this thing?
Well, I've noticed in the second quarter, you know, Winter Haven's getting some easy baskets because Lincoln's turning it over and then they're getting the loser's limp and jogging back down court. You know, it's a game. You got to play through it. You know, when you're, you know, I always call that, you know, when you're ahead, everybody's jumping up and down, but when you get behind, can you dig deep?
Right.
And, you know, stop playing the score and play the game and try to, you know, nickel and dime yourself back in the game. But doing that with the loser's limp, they're getting easy baskets and now you're getting nothing.
It's almost like a double-edged sword, really, because you got your opponent is nationally ranked, and then also for Lincoln, I mean, this is their first ever trip to the state semifinals. How tough is that, making a first ever appearance?
Well, it's really tough when you've never been here because now the lights are bigger, the court is bigger, and you're shooting in an open-air arena.
Right.
And, you know, Winter Haven has played these type of games all year with their schedule, and that really helps you. But it's just, to me, I think Winter Haven wants it a lot more than Lincoln does right now. And defensively, like I said, everybody's playing hard. Now you watch Lincoln on defense, and you know you're playing hard for 10 seconds, and you stop playing hard, they get easy basket, you turn it over, then you jog back. I mean, that's not going to help the situation.
Well, Coach, going back to the 7A state semifinals, the championship game is set. You're going to have a 1 versus 2 matchup. Fort Myers, the two-time defending state champions, will take on Fort Walton Beach Choctaw. How do you assess that one?
Well, it's going to be a good game, but I think, you know, watching Fort Myers, their defensive pressure, you know, might wear down those guards from Choctaw because they really don't go to the bench and bring but one guard off there. So, I mean, that's going to be the problem. And like I said, Fort Myers has some very, very good guards, and they have a couple of posts that are very, very big in the post and can score around the basket. So it's going to be a tall task, but, I really like Choctaw and how calm they were today and, how they really executed. So
I know you were impressed by the way they spaced the floor.
Yeah, the spacing was great. The ball, the ball handling was good, and they took care of the basketball. When you take care of the basketball, you put yourself in a situation where you can be successful.
For Fort Myers, a very special player in Destiny Henderson.
Yeah, she's special.
Yeah.
Yes, and she had 19 today, and believe me, she missed about 8 or 9 shots at the basket.
Plus, she got in foul trouble,
Right.
4 fouls, and was real tentative the rest of
Right.
the way.
But, in the first 3, I saw at least 8 or 9 at the basket where, she double pumped, put a little sauce on it. But just make the basket, and she probably would have came out of here with at least 30.
All right, Coach, before we let you go, your team unfortunately got beat in the Class 4A state semifinals by Carrollwood Day, which hung around with Miami Country Day, but Miami Country Day went on to win their 5th consecutive state title. How about that championship game yesterday?
A very good game. I mean, I thought Carrollwood played good until the fourth quarter when, it looked like they were just tired and, Miami Country Day took over. But, when you have the type of athletes both of those teams have, things like that can happen.
All right, Coach, thanks again. We appreciate it. We'll see you next game.
All right, thank you.
All right, that's Willie Powers, head coach of the PK Young Blue Wave. Our halftime score in this Class 8A state semifinal, 2-time defending state champion Winter Haven leading it at the half. It's Winter Haven 39, Tallahassee Lincoln 13. We'll return to the Lakeland Center right after this on the NFHS Network.
This event is brought to you by Olive Garden. Olive Garden is proud to be the official dining room of high school sports. With menu choices to please the entire family, as well as to-go and catering options, it's the perfect restaurant for your post-game dining. To find your nearest location or to order your meal online, visit olivegarden.com. Olive Garden delivers the final moments. Bring home Italian favorites and they'll cheer for you on game day. Olive Garden is the official dining room of high school sports, and with the new catering delivery service, you never have to miss a moment.
Say, if you get the loser's limp.
This game is brought to you by Under Armour, maker of the world's best apparel, footwear, and accessories. Check out the full line of performance gear now at UA.com. Under Armour, I will.
Welcome back to the RP Funding Center. Once again, our halftime score, Winter Haven leading at 39-13 against Tallahassee Lincoln. Looking at the first half stats, the turnovers were actually even. Lincoln had 17 turnovers. Winter Haven had 16. Now, the difference is on the glass. 31 rebounds for Winter Haven, 14 of those on the offensive end. In fact, how about this? Winter Haven had 14 offensive rebounds. Lincoln had 17 total rebounds.
That's crazy. And then the difference with even though the turnovers are pretty even, I bet the points off turnovers were different because Winter Haven's turnovers were trying to make something happen around the basket. And the
23 points off for turnovers, by the
right.
way.
So the Lincoln's turnovers led to points while Winter Haven's turnovers didn't.
Also, the shooting did not go their way in the first half. Lincoln was 3 of 26 from the floor, 11.5%.
I wonder if Winter Haven really is trying to, you always try to make a statement or something like that, but they definitely came out the very beginning letting everybody know, because there was a lot of hype. I was just hearing a bunch of people there talking about Lincoln, and nothing disrespectful or anything. They were really excited, hearing about the sisters and how good of a team Lincoln is and what kind of season they had. So I think Winter Haven kind of came in with a chip on their shoulder, like, hey, we're number one, this is our situation, and this is our state, we've been here, so let's take care of business.
Taking a look at the individual totals for both teams. Well, I had Zakiah Franklin with 12. They have her with 14. Not sure who they gave the other basket to. I score in pin. I usually feel pretty good about my scoring.
You and that pin over there, that's
I am prone to make mistakes.
That's confidence.
But I had Franklin with 12 first half point, and my numbers add up. So somewhere along the line, we missed a bucket. But so she's actually the only player in double figures for Winter Haven, believe it or not, despite the fact they've got 39 points. She's the only player in double figures, and no players are in double figures for Lincoln. Lincoln is being led in the first half. Well, they got a couple of players with 4 points apiece. Jenny Richards off the bench, and also Aaron Terrell with 4 points as well. All right, so our halftime score, a 26-point advantage. Just bear with us, folks.
Yeah, a little technical difficulties.
Brandon Crutchett, our camera operator down here on the floor, so making some adjustments.
We'll figure it out here until he turns.
You need a little bit more extension. I don't think you're going to be able to turn your camera.
Yeah.
He's got a small extension cord here. It's now laying in my paperwork. And you're right. If he has to turn that camera left and right, he doesn't have a lot of wiggle room, does he? Hey, but we'll make it through it.
Hey, you know what? That's all the fun. Technology is problem solving.
That's okay. I wouldn't worry about it. Actually, I have lost power now. There we go.
All right, so again, my halftime conversation, if I'm Coach Lawson with Winter Haven, is let's get to 35 as fast as possible. And if I'm Coach Mack from Lincoln, it's, hey, let's win this half. Let's win this quarter, you know.
All right, ready for the second half. It's Winter Haven basketball. Lincoln will have to be wary of a running clock, which could happen in this third quarter, especially when you consider the fact that, you know, Winter Haven's been consistent. 20 points in the first quarter, 19 in the second quarter. So they've kept the foot on the gas. I would expect the same to happen here in the third quarter. They may even go for the punch out here. That's going to be a foul after the steal. Sullivan picks up the personal, her second, as Terrell was heading the other way.
Because you made me think about this when you're talking about number of scores being around 10 points. Because how many teams are number one in a state where their leading score is only at 14.5 points a game?
Right.
That's not a lot of points at all. But where they beat you is collectively 14 points a game, 12 points a game, 8, 9, 6. So you kind of see that play that half, just a true collection of team where they're just looking at whoever's open, we're going to find you. And there's that deep outlet again, even though that's was deflected. I've never quite seen a team get such long outlets.
Malia Sullivan able to shoot it in off the glass. She's got 6 points. Winter Haven with the first two of the second half. Shot with the right hand, won't go.
And Franklin's also doing a good job. She's playing Erin Terrell, the one that's averages 29 points a game. And Franklin, her defensive stance is really, she's not reaching. She's just using her speed to try to cut her off.
Foul called before the shot. I don't think we've noted this, but number 3 for Lincoln is Courtney Mack, the daughter of head coach Rod Mack.
You see that a lot, and usually the coaches' kids are really fundamentally sound. They play really hard because they've been around it so much. My two boys don't want anything to do with basketball, so that wouldn't be the case with me, but most do. You know, that gym rat, they're in the gym all the time.
We're going to have over the back on Singleton. Sometimes it's tough to be the coach's son or daughter.
Oh, you
got a higher standard you have to live up to.
It is, because you feel like if you're easy on them at all, that's going to affect your team. So exactly. So if anything, and it's like a Coach Carter situation. If anyone's ever seen Coach Carter, if you're watching, you probably have.
A great movie too.
Oh, fantastic! But he tells this kid, "Hey, you can play for me, but it's not going to be pleasant."
Right. That's 8 points now for Malia Sullivan. She's got both buckets to start this third quarter. Runner in the lane, the floater no good by Erin Terrell. She's able to track down the rebound and save it, keeping it alive. Now a shot in the paint. Wouldn't go down for Jackson. And Winter Haven comes away with it.
I try to make sure as a coach, like my boys play baseball, and on that ride home, I'm just dad. I want to go to coach speak, you know, and but they get enough of that. So I always have to keep myself in check in that situation where it's just, you know, and anybody who's watching, the parents watching at home, something I read that I thought was really good. Next time your kid plays a game on the way home, and the next time you talk to them, just tell them, I enjoy watching you play. And I really think, you know, as parents, maybe we do overanalyze things too much. Sometimes that's all they want to hear. And I did that myself, and it was the best car ride home forever. Just letting your kids know, you know what? I don't think we say that enough, even as coaches, to let you know, I enjoy watching you play.
After a miss for a long two, Thomas grabs the rebound. There's Thomas, has her shot blocked. Winter Haven back the other way. They've got numbers. Good pass over to Franklin. We'll say unofficially 16. We'll go with what I got.
I'm going with you. You and that pen, you are on it. You are the stat king.
Franklin leading the way. 8-0 run to begin the third quarter. So Lincoln, they needed to come out strong in the third quarter to try to get back in this game. And now here we are, a bucket away from a running clock.
Yeah, it's
that might do it. No, it goes over the top.
I almost thought that was going to bounce, go in. I saw that coming.
That's when you know everything's going right for you.
We had a 17 three-pointer game when I was at Boca Ciega.
Wow.
And I knew about midway through the third quarter. That's a state record, I think.
Okay, state record.
For girls.
Okay, for girls.
Girls.
Right.
But we missed a free throw, kicked it out and made the three-pointer, and that's when you know, okay, like we were saying there, that's when you know it's your day.
Yeah. How about last week? You and I had a chance to work the game. The City of Life Christian Academy
10
Warriors.
of 21, I won't forget it.
Deborah Buggs hit 7 threes by herself. 7 threes. Yeah, 28-point third quarter.
We covered that game, and that was just so much fun to watch.
And congratulations to City of Life Christian Academy. They end up winning the state title, their first in school history.
Did they beat OCP, or was that a different Calvary?
They beat Calvary Christian Academy 51-34. And they had knocked off the defending state champions in the semifinals to get to the championship. So there are several first-time winners. Somerset Prep won their first state title in school
30,
history.
Didn't they?
Yep, 70-34.
That was the OCP one.
Yep, they beat OCP for the 3A state title.
I'm down with OCP. You know me.
Yes.
I'm sorry. You have to have a 90s reference to get
yes,
that one.
I know. I always say the same thing. Oxbridge Academy won their first state title. They won the 5A state title. American Heritage won the 6A title. That was their first. So a lot of first-time winners.
Wow, and they were that American Heritage Lakewood game will be an all-time Lakeland classic. Just an overtime game, back and forth.
And they were down double digits.
Lakewood was down and came back again. Lakewood was down and came back a couple times.
That's going to be an offensive foul on Erin Terrell. Frustrating day for her, only 4 points. She averages almost 29 a game. And you can just tell the body language on that Lincoln bench. Put a fork in them.
It looks like, they're taking notes in my history class. Just bored out of their mind.
For the running clock, a 3. Franklin.
And her defense as well, because, again, she's been playing Erin Terrell man-to-man most of the time today. They just switched it out right there, but she just kind of followed her around anywhere. It's sort of like the Hoosier situation where he wanted his defender to guard the guy so much he wanted to know what kind of bubble gum he was chewing. And by the end of the game, he said, Dentine.
Jenny Richards, basket, and a chance at a three-point play. Hey, what do you know, Will? They corrected it on the scoreboard. They now have as many points for Franklin as I do.
See, that we knew better. We knew who would have that right. But certain people, are going to be on it. And you and that magic pen over there. I would see if Winter Haven, a situation where you get a lot of his next level players in, people that are you might need tomorrow, he might need for the future, giving them used to this experience here in Lakeland, so where it's not new when it's their turn, and you really protect yourself from injuries.
Jump ball is the call.
The last thing you want to do with a running clock. I always reference this a lot from the movie Friday Night Lights. Boobie Miles, the best player, a football player, and gets hurt while the game was really out of hand, and it really cost their team. So here you want to get that next group ready, while at the same time you're getting your people that have to play tomorrow some rest. So I definitely believe in a running clock to give other people a chance to get in there and show what they have.
That one almost stolen away.
Nice behind-the-back dribble there.
Sullivan anticipated the pass, and a foul called. Clock will continue to run. Winter Haven led by 12 at the end of the first quarter. They extended it to a 26-point lead at the half. And now a running clock here in the third quarter.
And sometimes there's my first Final Four here at Boca Ciega. We played Winter Haven, and we got running clocked. In this kind of situation, too, where we had a great team. A lot of those kids went and played in college, but I remember Winter Haven had Tiffany Hayes, who went on to UConn, and didn't lose for 2 years, I think, at UConn. So I didn't quite feel as bad. I'm like, okay, all right. Well, sometimes someone's just that much better than you are that year. But we came back the next year, so Lincoln, especially the sisters being freshmen, I wouldn't be surprised to see them back here next year.
Aaron Terrell with her 7th point, and then carrying is the call. Sullivan turns it over. Sullivan with 8 points today. She's one of those 6 seniors on this Winter Haven team. And bounce to Erica. And she hits the shot. How about that?
That was fantastic.
Against Franklin, bumped hard, but had enough to get rid of it and hit the shot.
It almost looked like she didn't release that until she was even falling down, not even like originally. So to be able to have the wherewithal to get that up to the basket was a tremendous play.
Under a minute now here in the third quarter. Erica with 6. So the Terrell sisters have combined for 13 points.
Yeah, when you average almost 40 between the two, that's not going to be quite enough. And it's not their fault. Again, Winter Haven is just locking them down defensively.
I'm interested to see which of these next 2 teams, Tampa Bay Tech or Nova, will get a chance to match up with Winter Haven.
Yeah, and I was thinking of that here at halftime. If they're watching this game, they got to be like, oh goodness.
You probably don't want to watch it.
Yeah, you might. Just, hey, let's go for a walk,
Focus
guys.
on your game first. Now, if you win, you can sit back and relax and watch it a little bit.
Yeah, that's the big advantage of playing the first game, is that you can play and it's over. Now you could, by the time it's 30 minutes in between games. So you take your team, they could change, come sit up as a team together, and you can watch that next game and scout. You can fully scout. If you're playing in the second game, then you really don't have that kind of time.
The horn sound at the end of the third quarter, but Ariel Young shooting 2, looking for her first point of the game. And she misses both free throws, so it's 50-22 Winter Haven as we head to the final quarter. We'll keep it right here. And remind you that if you would like to purchase a DVD keepsake copy of today's event, click on the blue Get the DVD button directly under your event in the video player, or click on the Buy a DVD button on the top right-hand corner of the NFHS Network website. High school sports fans, never miss another game. Become a subscriber to the NFHS Network to watch live event coverage, game replays, and highlights from high school sporting events from across the country. Millions of athletes, thousands of games, one destination, NFHSnetwork.com. We are high school. Our thanks to our entire crew, our camera operators. We've got 2 today, Brandon Crochet and also Mike Kovac. Thanks to our executive producer, Gary Tufford, as well as analyst Willie Powers, who has been joining us at the half today. As always, my thanks to Will White, my broadcast partner. I'm Mike Rideout. We're at the RP Funding Center beginning the fourth quarter of this Class 8A state semifinal. Nationally ranked Winter Haven has imposed a running clock on Lincoln, a first-time participant in the state semifinals.
You're getting that RP funding thing down really well now.
I am, yes. I'm starting to roll. I think I only said the Lakeland Center twice on Monday.
Okay, not bad.
Twice or 3 times?
Once, twice, 3 times.
Which, all in all, was not bad at all.
No, because it was taking me a while.
When you've said it for 20 years.
Is that how long it's been here? Is 20 years?
No, it's how long I've been here.
Oh, I got you. This is the perfect venue, Lakeland. Pretty dead center of the state, and
Sharice Thomas.
Easy access for everyone.
First basket of the game for Sharice Thomas. Super athletic with a great vertical. And swatted out of bounds.
That was good defense.
Yeah, we talked about that on Monday, the fact that it is centrally located. It's been here. It's kind of a mainstay now for high school basketball in Florida. I just don't know where else you would move it. I think if you do move it anywhere,
Sundome, but...
Yeah, or maybe even something smaller, even though it wouldn't be centrally located. maybe a Santa Fe College in Gainesville.
Yes.
Maybe a University of North Florida in Jacksonville.
Yeah, a few years ago they were looking at different venues, and no one really kind of jumped at that opportunity. But because, like you said, it's hard. Anywhere else, there's kind of some negatives. Like if it's UNF, if you're a Southern, you're Miami or somewhere.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's so far. But
But even coming from Miami, from that area,
you
you
get to
just
go
go straight
up,
up 95.
Right. Pretty much the only ones would be super negative would be like Naples area.
Yeah.
Because then you have to kind of cross
the state
straight,
a little bit.
Straight up the interstate actually wouldn't be that bad.
Southwest Florida would be a little tougher.
That would be the only ones there. But I think with the renovations here, with the Lakeland Magic being here, I actually think it has a much better basketball feel to it. The scoreboards, the banners, the clock up there, everything just gives it that much better look.
Yeah, so if you've been critical of the tournament here, make sure you see the new renovations first before you make up your mind that you're ready for it to move somewhere else.
When I first walked in here on Monday, I was really pleasantly shocked. Again, the color scheme and everything, just it feels like much more like a basketball arena than it ever has.
We're like sitting in a VIP area too.
This was nice. Yeah, thanks for hooking us up with that, because it's it'd be much harder to call from too far away.
6:10 left in the game. In that third quarter, Winter Haven continued the hot shooting. They were 5 of 8. Basket good by Thomas. Both of her points, or field goals rather, have come here in the fourth quarter. A turnover. Lincoln will get it back with under 6 minutes to play.
That's what you want. Have a good fourth quarter here, even with the running clock. Because if you're Coach Mack, you're thinking, hey, well, we want to come back. We want to be here next year. So let's end on a good note. Let's give her everything that we have here, and we'll use that as our motivation in the offseason.
Terrell misses the three, and rebounded by Winter Haven. Lincoln took 13 shots in the third quarter. They took 26 shots in the first half. Each time they made 3, so the shooting a little bit better, up to 23% in the second half, third quarter, but just 15% for the game.
It's hard to win when you shoot 15%.
As well as getting out rebounded by 15.
Yeah, Winter Haven, I don't really see a flaw. They haven't had to shoot many threes, so maybe something like that. But they have the size and the speed and the athleticism to just kind of get out and go. So whoever plays them tomorrow, I would seriously consider a no offensive rebound strategy. Play your normal offense, but basically when that shot goes up, get back on defense, make Winter Haven beat you in the half court. Because if it's a run and gun game, you are going to lose.
Shot blocked inside. Good defense by Thomas. Now here's Erica Terrell, and she'll go to the line and shoot 2. She's been there a few times today. 5 free throw attempts in the game.
We have a timeout by Lincoln.
Franklin picks up her 4th foul. That's the only thing that's going to stop the clock. 4:22 to play in the game, 52-26. It's all Winter Haven. The Blue Devils will improve to 31-1. Lincoln season comes to an end. Their first loss to an FHSAA team this year. It'll end at 22-2. Their first ever state semifinal appearance in girls basketball.
Yeah, the scary thing with Lincoln is that 3 of the starters that aren't named Terrell are seniors. So, I hope maybe this wasn't their best shot. And they have a couple seniors on the bench as well. So they're going to definitely have to put in some work to kind of get back here, because they do lose 60% of their starters.
Yeah, 5 seniors, but as you noted, 3 of them are starters. But it's nice to be able to have somebody come back that
when you have 40 points,
it puts
with
up
your
almost
freshmen
29
sisters,
points a game.
Yes.
You got something to work with.
And 40 between the two that are both
right,
freshmen.
True.
So that's something you can build around.
Identical twins. I had to ask if they were fraternal or identical. They are identical twins, and here's one of them, Erica Terrell. That gives her 7 for the game. She's got as many as her sister Erin.
Bragging rights for the car ride home.
Yeah. Got them both. She's done quite well at the line. 6 for 7. 52-28. At least they might make it respectable.
Yeah, they're having a much better quarter here, pushing the ball, getting to the line, and then with the running clock, it's much more comfortable. So they're not really stressing as much.
Trojans with 8 in the first quarter, 5 in the second, 9 in the third. Only 11 points in the third quarter for Winter Haven after scoring 20 in the opening quarter and 19 in the second. After a miss, rebounded by Lincoln.
3-on-1.
26 points off of turnovers today.
Nice stop and shot. Just short-armed it.
That and the points in the paint. They've outscored them 40-10 in the paint.
They've just gotten that ball to that backside block in transition the whole game. You know, in transition, the defense for Lincoln would over-rotate, and they just find that runner on the backside for some easy baskets. And if they missed it, they got a couple of those back and put them back in.
Good look.
That's an exact situation. What they do is they drive, draw the defense in, and they really fill that backside so well and get just those easiest of baskets.
6 points for Rochelle Jacob. Reverse layup left a little short by Thomas. Rebound foul called with 2:45 in counting. Ariel Young will pick up the personal. That's her fourth. Coming up next, our second 8A semifinal between Tampa Bay Tech and Nova.
That should be a really strong. Tampa Bay Tech, again, kind of came out of nowhere this year. They had someone move in from out of state and another school and just had a tremendous season.
Battles.
And Nova's a semi-regular around, at least deep playoff run kind of team every year.
They are 29-1. Their only loss to Winter Haven. The tournament in Miami. They also beat Miami Country Day this year.
Yeah, Miami Country Day I think was 17-10. They definitely went out. I respect those teams that are perennial powers that go out and play and get double-digit loss because it's no fun just to go. You could be 30-1, but then if you haven't played anybody, you're not going to win anything. So get out there and play and see what you got. I've already told my kids we're going to lose more games next year, and they kind of look at me weird, and it's like, because we're going to pump up the schedule even more. We're going to get ready. Everybody makes district, so might as well get out there and challenge yourselves and see what you're made of.
As long as you can win that district semifinal game.
That's it. That's the real pressure one. It's not a district final because you saw Carrollwood Day had a really good shot at a state championship as a runner-up from their district. So it's funny because when you look at the attendance in your districts, the semifinal nights are the big nights, the crowd-wise. District finals not so much because there's not as much pressure in that game.
But the teams that made it here took care of business. Of the 36 teams participating this week, only 3 were district runners-up. FAMU, which was the defending state champion in 3A, Carrollwood Day, who ended up playing for a state title, and Spruce Creek in 9A, who we'll see later today. Now down to 37 seconds as that foul is called.
We'll end it here on free throws.
Yes. Stepping to the line will be Deja Jackson to close out the scoring. And almost banked it in. Missed them both. Fight for the rebound. Lincoln comes away with it. Thomas then throws it away, and that'll do it. Winter Haven will win it easily today. A running clock in the second half. They are now 31-1 following the 54-28 win against the Trojans of Tallahassee Lincoln, whose season ends at 22-2, but they do make it to the state semifinals for the first time in school history. Winter Haven will go for their 5th state title. They're seeking a three-peat, and they will play the winner of our next game between Tampa Bay Tech and Nova.
Yeah, that's going to be an exciting. We thought this one would be too, but I really do think Tampa Bay Tech Nova is going to be a really strong game, and Winter Haven will be able to come up here and check it out and see what's up for tomorrow.
That would do it for our coverage in this first Class 8A state semifinal. Now speaking for our entire crew, for our camera operators, Brandon Crotchett and Mike Kovac, for our analyst at the half, PK Young coach Willie Powers, for our executive producer Gary Tufford, and for my broadcast partner Will White. I'm Mike Rideout. So long, good afternoon, and God bless.